over the years. Etienne was small and Megan was small when we had our first visit with Ginny and Eddie, and we met all of you at Lake George and even at your other house. And little did we realize that this relationship will grow into what I would call a family relationship. I also have to thank you for being there for Megan, all of you. All of you are special to Megan. You know, she doesn't always express herself also, but I will do it on her behalf right now also. But you are her family here. She knows it. She's not very demonstrative, as you know. She gets crazy herself and then she cuts off and so forth and so forth. But she knows if ever she should be in a crisis, in a bad crisis, there is one family that she can turn to, and that would be the Jackal family. And even Steve, now that she's in the house buying process, she's counting on Stephen, so hint, hint. And it's been really a joy to see how David, you and Russell, Kim, Candy, and Emily, you guys have grown into the wonderful individuals that you are. We looked at it from afar. But what has now truly, truly touched us is the fact that this family and the generosity of this family brought us back to the US. When Ginny made that call and she said, I want to do this for you and your sisters, and you know, and also in memory of your mother. That was a very, very moving moment for us. Both Ginny and Eddie should know that. And what you should know is that people in South Africa cannot believe the story. They would still have believed it had it been for one. But for 4 people, they can't believe that is possible. So at the time also, I think when our country has its own difficulties and so forth, trying to build a new nation, we talk about Ubuntu, meaning that we care for one another. And it is that kind of Ubuntu that you have shown. That is a lesson to our country. Yes. And you must know, as people get to know the story, and they get to know the story, they are full of admiration that people could do a thing like this. And you know, in our country, there's now some black people who have become middle class, but the spirit of philanthropy is not there as yet. It needs to be developed. So part of what I see as my mission is to help people get in touch with this spirit of philanthropy. And in some ways, this situation demonstrates that to others. So you must know, yes, at the personal level, we are the ones who are benefiting. But there's a much, much bigger picture outside of there. Now, we know how Ginny is, and we know how Eddie is, and we know that you don't expect anything back. But we also know that by giving to us, you are taking a little bit away from the kids as well. You could have spent it with them. And so that piece to all of you, we do recognize. And our only hope is that you will understand why your parents are doing this. I have to say to you, we will leave with Ginny, a card with Ginny and Eddie. This was the memorial little prayer meeting. was held at Riverside Church last Friday. One of my school friends who trained with me at Columbia University, she's now also a pastor, and her husband was a minister at Riverside Church. They did this entire invite, or not invite, little thing that they gave to us. And it was basically talking about my mom and so on, and putting the Lord's Prayer, Psalm 121, as a typing error. And my mother believed and lived by Psalm 23. So that's in here, and we're going to give this to you and Eddie as a remembrance of what you did. You know, my mom came and lived here for 2 years, and she went to church there at Riverside, where some of us went to. So, right from the word go, all of us decided that there must be a way. We felt a little bit helpless. How do you repay such generosity? We can only repay it with love. And we decided that we'll bring little gifts, and that ought to be the token of appreciation from us. Now, you know, with luggage and stuff, had I known what I know now about Stephen, I would have brought that scotch. Whatever. But you know, every time you get to know something more about the family, then you can relate better when you have to make choices. But that was a long speech now from me. I want to give my sisters, and Jada, you're also welcome to say something. Because Jada is also benefiting from all of this. And what you need to know is that here's the 4 sisters. Our brothers are all late, so we are the only ones surviving. And then there's Megan, who's my mom's granddaughter, and she's now the great-granddaughter. So you've made it possible for these 3 generations of women to be together in this kind of a way last Friday and even tonight. So for us, this getting together, Kim and Stephen, is a very deep thing that you are doing, and it is still tied to us coming to closure about my mom's passing. It will be a year in August. She actually passed away on our Women's Day. But she was a strong woman. So I'm gonna just allow the rest of them to say whatever they want to say, if you can bear with us, because we feel we have to say this.
Second eldest now.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be like a quick
I'm very emotional.
Me too.
That's why we connect. When I entered your door here, I've got that spirit of, discernment. It's beautiful in here. All the love is here. And are you the son-in-law? But there's so much love in here that I'm here now to talk to Auntie Jimmy and Uncle Ed. But you are very you're lucky to have a husband like this. And you all fit in so nicely. And knowing your mom and your dad, I'm going to compare them to horses. Horses, that's your right. Anybody here, have you ever seen a depressed horse? Never. Never. You've never seen a depressed horse. Now this is how you are. You are like horses. You are humble. You never boast about anything, You just keep them guessing. And that is very good. But sir, I must tell you, you are a very, very special person, and you are a lucky lady to have him. And then for the family, look, I'm just saying as it comes now. But you are lucky, and I am lucky to have people like you. And the next thing is that you must all keep the light shining. In that, I mean that we get a thermostat, we get a thermometer. A thermometer regulates, okay, the temperature. You see the teacher coming out. And the thermostat, he will change everything. And that is what you all must be. Always keep it in mind, to be the light for others. And your mom and your dad was the light for us, and we appreciate it very, very much. And my daughter, who is the medical doctor, sent you something because she knows, and it's in there. I will tell you what it is. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, also Auntie Jenny and Auntie Ed and family members. From me, I just want to latch on to something Edna said about family. And that is to say that back in South Africa, I work as a social worker. And often when we reflect on our country and where it should be going, we all agree that the family, we have lost the ability to keep family life together in South Africa, and that has become probably the most important or the biggest underlying problem in terms of where we are at South Africa today. And so when we reflect, we say we've agreed as a team in our organization that we will commit to that goal of rebuilding family lives, which is very difficult because it's probably here as well, but with families disintegrating on a daily basis, we are dealing with missing fathers and so on. It's extremely difficult, but what keeps us going as the practitioners of the profession is when we on rare occasions come into contact with a family that in our minds, or in our belief, symbolizes what it is that we are striving towards and building towards. And I just want to say that for me personally, it has been an honor to meet, to be introduced through Edna to the family. And not only now, I think on my first visit already, and those pictures that I took with me has been a constant reminder of what I want to say ideal, maybe you're not going to say the ideal for me, but because we know that we say we all strive to improve on what we have, but to me you really symbolizes that family that I think of when I work out there in South Africa. So what I feel I should do in terms of repaying you for this wonderful opportunity is to commit here and to go back and to give back to my colleagues, first and foremost, to my colleagues, and to the people, the families that I work with. Yeah, and I need to find the ways in which I will do so, but all I can say is that I'm inspired by all of you. I am moved to do more back in our country for the remaining years. I am committed to the work that I do, and yeah, I think the best way of repaying you is to go back and to honor you by I'm at a loss of words, but I just want to say that by taking what I have gained from this family, and I think Inez touched on the love, the care, everything that over the years we have gained from you, the letters that Auntie Jenny writes, the pictures that she places in there, the pictures that we have taken back, it's all, yes, Auntie Jenny, it will all serve as inspiration for me when I go back. And already before we came, as Edna said, when we spoke about, when colleagues asked me, I didn't go and announce that I was going to America, but I had to,
嗯
apply for the leave and give a reason. So I basically said that we've been invited also because my mom had passed, and there's an opportunity to have a little memorial for her in America. So I think my manager spread it in small little ways. So I had people coming to me wishing me well, and I was in awe of the send-off for me. But I can promise you that I will go back and I will use myself as I'm one of the older staff members there. I'm going to use this opportunity because they do look up at, as the older, I'm not a manager or a top social worker in there, in the top structure, but somehow because of the age and because of the area where I work in the area called Guguletu, and that is where Amy Beale lost her life. So there's a huge spirit of Ubuntu there, the spirit that Edna speaks about. And there's respect for people that are older than you. And so, although I'm not the top person in the organization, I think I got that send-off because they just respect me. And so, when the news leaked, they had little questions. You're going to America and you're so quiet, and what are you going to do there? So, in little ways, I already started to spread the message. And people were like, you can't be serious. And when you say it's not just you, it's you and your sisters, they were like blown away. People just cannot believe that a family like you exists in this world. And I think I already started by saying they do. There are people in this world, they are rare, but if you are blessed and you come into contact, you will also. So what I feel I should go back, they all will wait to ask about my trip. And I think I will focus on family life, this family, the principles that we were raised up with, respect, caring for others. And in my own small little way, I will try and make a difference, giving back because I have received from you. It's my promise to you that is how I would do it. So I just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so very much. At this age, I never thought that I would come to America again, and so
You made it.
I really feel thank you to each and every one. I do not take it for granted. It's really a huge gift that has come my way. Thank you. Thank you again. God bless you all. So.
Rose. Now it's Rose.
Uncle Eden, Auntie Ginny, and the whole family, they've actually said it all. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for your friendship, for the love, for just everything. And seeing that mom and dad passed on already, dad 40 years ago, I'm seeing my new mom and dad here in America. I got Eden and Auntie Ginny, sister, brother, and extended families. You are my family, and I'm taking you back to South Africa in my heart. Everything of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, we
Our
want you
pleasure.
back with us too. We want you all back with us too. Very nice. Thank you. Very lovely.
It's Shada's turn if she wants to say something.
It's practice for school, Jada.
Thanks for the trip, and I hope I get to see you all again.
You're welcome anytime.
And her dad says hello to everybody.
Now, given that Jada was the last to speak, have you finished?
Yeah.
We'll give her the first opportunity for the appreciations.